Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Brad from Lone Wolf, and today we are going to be looking at the problem of water purification in the wild. As you can see in front of me, I've got some pretty dirty water that I'd like to clean. I haven't got any sort of filter or anything like that, so I'm going to be showing you 4 different methods that you can get clean water from dirty water. I'll go into a little bit more detail about what they can and can't do as at the end of each section. As you can imagine, each one of these takes quite a while, so I will actually be speeding it up so you don't have to sit through a long time of watching water being cleaned. So you don't have to worry about that. 2 of these are what I call active sterilizations, and 2 of them are what I call passive. Again, I'll explain that before each one is started. Just as another note, I have got a new camera just over there. I will be filming that from a different perspective. I'll be putting each one of those videos up separately. I just want you to tell me what you think. It's supposed to be an HD camcorder, but we'll see. In the meantime, the next thing you'll see is the first one I've set up. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in a second. That is one you've probably all heard of, which is solar still, and that's basically using the daylight to convert salt water, dirty water, whatever, into fresh, clean drinking water. Now, normally you dig a hole in the ground for this and then put your cup in the middle. I'm using an old sweet tin there, but the principle is exactly the same. So we're going to take a plastic bag, in this case it's a nice clear one, clearish one, and I am going to put the whole lot into the plastic bag. Now the key to this is to try and keep everything as tight as possible. And then I'm going to tighten this up a bit more. I'm going to use some tape. Make sure that this stays nice and tight. Gives it the best opportunity, the best chance to actually work. Put my little stone in the middle there. That's not going to work just yet because of the way the stone is pulling the plastic down below the rim of the mug. However, keep going. The idea is that the leak base operates water, it's a barrier that enters back in water and drips down into the mud. Now, I don't think quite so many leak for about an hour, see how it's done. I'm going to let the camera sit for now, but when you see it, we'll see the operator. Basically, much time, and then we'll back to do the next one. Okay everybody, so you can see the principle at work here. You've got dirty water in the bottom there. The heat of the day evaporates the water vapour, hits the plastic barrier, then turns into dew, which you can actually see, and then flows down into the cup, giving you fresh water. It is a slow process, but it is a reliable process provided you set it up properly. Appears I haven't set this up properly, so although we've got water vapour hitting the plastic, it's not quite forming enough to form into water and then flow down. So I'm going to call that one there. I'm going to come back with the next one, which is also a passive one. When I say passive, it means you don't actually have to actively do anything to purify the water. So I'll be back in a minute and I'll explain the setup then. Okay, so this is the next setup, guys. This is another passive water purification. This is just basically two jars together. The key to remember with this one is that the dirty water has got to be at a higher elevation than the jar that's going to go into your clean water, which is this one in this case. All you then need to do is take a strip of cloth like so. One end goes in what will be the clean water, the other end you soak in the dirty water, and then you just leave it. And again, I am going to speed up what you see, but keep your eye on the left jar and you'll see how much water actually flows through using this method. And yeah, I'll be back in a second. Okay everybody, you now join me in the kitchen where I'm going to be demonstrating the active water purification systems. I'm going to start off with the most basic one, which is this one here. And all it is I've got a glass bottle, in this case it's a wine bottle, on the stove ready to be heated up, and in this case I've got a Lucozade bottle, plastic Lucozade bottle. Reason I've got the Lucozade bottle is because the neck of the Lucozade bottle fits quite nicely over the wine bottle, and therefore is less likely to lose any water that is distilled. In the metal tray here, just so I'm not heating the glass directly, I've got some water. You can also use sand or dirt or anything. The idea is just to regulate the temperature and not put the glass directly over heat. In here I've got some cold water, again just to, in this case it's not to regulate the temperature, but it's to create a temperature difference, and therefore a slight partial pressure difference, enabling the water vapor to flow from one bottle to the other. Again, I am going to speed up the film so you can see exactly what happens. I don't want to bore you to tears. And then we're going to be moving on to the last one, which is probably the best one, but it takes a lot of equipment, but it does give the best results, and I'll explain why when I get there. Okay, so I'm now going to switch on the stove. Obviously if you're in the wild you'd do this over a fire, not a gas stove, but the principle is the same. Okay, so this is going to be the last method of water purification that I'm going to show you today. You've probably seen something like this before, but it's always a good idea to have a look at new things like this. As I said before, this is probably the best of them because not only are you boiling the water, but you're actually distilling it. So it makes it very, very clean. Now, obviously I'm using a gas stove. Once again, if you need to use a fire, use a fire. Just to prove that there is dirty water in there. Get a stick. There you go. Dirty water. Okay, so just get these set up on the tripod. Get the camera set up on the tripod, and I'll get this one started.
So as you can see, I've got the kettle with a bung, homemade bung, goes up through a pipe and then back down into a bottle. The cloth that you can see there, that is actually a condenser, so it turns the steam, the water vapor back into water and drips into the bottle. So once again, you're going to see a speeded up version of this once I've done it, but it is pretty much one of the quickest. So lid on, the gas flowing. Okay, so as you can see, these methods, they have their advantages and disadvantages. The passive ones, they're obviously a lot slower, but they don't require any input from yourselves, they don't require any monitoring. The active ones, they do obviously require monitoring, but they've also got the added advantage of actually boiling the water as well, so it kills off bacteria and viruses, things like that. Word and note on that, can't guarantee that these methods will get rid of things like heavy metals, radiation, pollutants, or anything that basically subatomic or anything like that in the water. So if you do use it, particularly passive ones, boil the water afterwards for at least 5 minutes, 5-minute rolling boil. There are obviously filters out on the market, some really good filters, water filters out on the market. They do a much better job than any of these, so I would say to invest in one of them rather than having to jury rig something like this. But if you find yourself stuck in the wild, and you can find this equipment, then by all means go for it. Again, you don't have to use plastic and glass, you can use metal if you need to, but it's up to you, it really is. Okay, so thank you very much for joining me, and I shall see you next time. Bye for now.